So then we're here outside the Matrix fitness area with the guys from Red Bull and Matrix, a huge sporting partnership. We're right by the front entrance when you come in. You can't miss us. I've got Al beside us. Al, first of all, start off by telling us exactly what it is that you do.
Well, I'm head of technical partnerships for Infiniti Red Bull Racing, so I'm responsible for any partner of the team that provides us with a technology or a solution, very much like the Matrix fitness equipment that we use in the factory.
And alongside Al is Bernie. Bernie, your role?
My role, I'm the performance director, running the performance of the team, the drivers, and also run the clinical management side as well, looking after everybody.
And finally, this is Guy here. What do you do?
Hi there. I work with Matrix Fitness to activate the partnership with Infiniti Red Bull Racing on a day-to-day basis with Al.
Okay, fantastic. We'll come back to you, Al, here. A great event, Leisure Industry Week. What can you guys benefit from something like this?
Well, it's really just seeing what's the best on the market. It's not just about making the car as quick as we possibly can and making it perform on track. It's about doing it for all areas of the team. And so we've definitely made a step forward in the last couple of years by focusing on our pit crew and the work that we do. And obviously this is where Bernie's helping the team. This weekend, for example, in Singapore, we absolutely gained positions on track by having a faster pit stop than our next closest rival. So these kinds of events just mean we can look outside the box and see how we can add more benefit to the team, and that's obviously why we're partnering Matrix. They're the best in the business, and that's how we like to work. So
another win this weekend as well in Singapore for Vettel.
Absolutely, great result for Vettel. I mean, clearly in a different league this weekend. It was a mixed emotions for us. Obviously, Mark did really well throughout the race and only to stop at the last lap. So yeah, shame for Mark. It was a bit of a gutting moment, but we come away with more points than our competition again in constructor and driver. So yeah, all in all, it was a successful weekend for sure.
And the car that you've got on display here, is this season's car?
No, it's branded in this season's livery, but it's actually the RB6. So it's our first championship winning car. So 3 years ago, this was the car that won our first world championship title.
Okay, we'll just move down the line to Bernie. Bernie, congratulations, I'm going to say to start with, because you guys have recently won or broken a world record with you and your pit crew.
Well, yeah, I'm a very small cog in a big clock, if you imagine. There's a lot goes on to, yeah, very excited to be part of the team that's the world record holders now of 2.002. 4 wheels on, 4 wheels off car leaving. So, yeah, and there's a lot involved. The technical side of it. There's a massive team behind everything, and we, Red Bull, take it very seriously, right down to the clinical management of the guys, the well-being, the health, and my side is obviously looking after the performance, the fitness, with a team of guys that I've got as well.
You mentioned numbers there. Can you be specific for people that don't know too much about Formula One, just how many people are involved?
Well, it's in total, there's about 20 odd guys that are actually on that actually work on the pit crew on the 2 cars itself, and you've got basically 3 guys that work on each corner. You've got jack men, you've got fuel men, you've got lots of guys changing the wing settings and on that, and it's incredible to witness when you see these guys drilled and rehearsing all the time. It's all about, fantastic. Hardly anything is said. It's all about knowing your job, knowing the guys you're working. I call it the ultimate teamwork. The only next best thing I'd say to it is years ago, is those who remember the field gun crew. How that was all about sheer timing and excellence, and we've nailed it as we've done.
Yeah, well, with that world record, you have absolutely nailed it. Congratulations on that. Specifically training-wise, what do you do with the guys?
Well, since coming on board, I've been with Matrix for years now, and we needed to make sure, I can't give you too many tips away, but we've got a lot of conditioning training, very subtle mechanical work. So we work with a top physio as part of the team as well. So we're into sort of the biomechanics, the motor movements. So there's a lot of subtleties. We strip it back. We actually strip back the actual, we use videos, GoPros, we slow it down, we look at all the movement of the guys, and then it could be someone, which we did recently, move someone 2 inches closer to the car that makes all these little things work. So we've got specific equipment made that's top secret by Matrix for us, so it's a little bit unique compared to what you're seeing at the show today.
Brilliant, fantastic. Well, stick around, we'll have another little chat in a sec. And where do you fit in, Guy? Explain, you're more the account side of things.
Yes.
It's always good to have kind of one finger on the pulse there.
Yeah, so my background is marketing, so Al is from an engineering background, Bernie obviously the strength and conditioning, physical fitness side of things. So I work with the guys on a marketing basis to organise things like the show car we have here. It's great they've chosen to showcase the relationship in this way. Obviously, LIW is hugely important for Matrix. It's great they've chosen this stage for the Infiniti Rebel Racing relationship. So my role is to work day to day with the guys at Matrix to make sure, from a marketing perspective, they're using the relationship to the maximum, really. Obviously, we use their kit on a day-to-day basis in the factory. It's a hugely important part of our pit process, as Bernie's mentioned. So obviously the value they get out of it is by talking about the relationship in these sorts of forums. So just here to support that, really.
It's a pretty impressive setup you've got here right by the entrance. As we said, if you do want to come along and look at any of the Matrix equipment, we might even have a little sneaky peek in there in a sec as well. Some fantastic stuff in there to use.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's a really good setup. There's plenty to do and see. Hopefully the show car's a bit of a draw, get people in the door, but yeah, there's an awful lot to do, so yeah, it's great.
Well, it certainly does. Let me just grab you. Stay here a sec, chaps. I'm just going to show them inside, but just have a little, watch your step there on the way in. But there's a good look at the centre of the Matrix hub there, and you really can't miss it. It's outside the front entrance to the Leisure Industry Week. We'll grab you back because we've only got the guys for a couple of minutes, so we'll just go and have a finishing chat there. It is getting a little bit hot. Do you want to take your jacket off?
I will if that's okay, yeah.
Go for it. What sort of things can you gain from a week like this week? What else can you get out of it other than attracting new clients, new partnerships, things like that?
It's a bit of everything, really. It's looking to see if there's any new technology in the fitness world that we could bring to the table, bring back to the team. We're constantly looking out of the box. We're constantly looking laterally and seeing where we can gain any advantage in whatever area we can. So if we find any equipment here that we think, well, maybe we could steal that idea, do something similar. Obviously, Bernie's already said we're working directly with Matrix to design our own bespoke equipment that we keep in-house so that we can train the guys, on the role that they perform within the pit stop. But more importantly, it's about looking at the overall fitness and the health of the team. It's a tough season. Next year's even tougher with more races on the calendar. And so getting the guys to the end of the year, having worked every race weekend, travelling a lot, it's just having that resilience to be able to handle the year is tough. So anything we can see here where we think we can bring that into the team and give us that extra bit of competitive advantage, we'll take it. So
Red Bull are always super competitive. Mark and Seb up there, how fit do they have to be Formula One drivers? All the drivers, in fact.
Well, yeah, I mean, Bernie could probably give you a better answer, but it's kind of a common knowledge that a Formula One race, in terms of the effort required by the driver, is about equivalent to running a marathon. And so this weekend we've just come back from Singapore, where the drivers are getting up to like 40 degrees in the cockpit for nearly 2 hours. One of the toughest races of the season. Incredible humidity.
Night race as well,
which is actually a bonus because it does cool down slightly, so it would just be unbearable for the drivers otherwise. And we know last year Mark Webber lost over 2 kilos of body weight in perspiration throughout the race, so keeping them hydrated so that they can stay alert for 2 hours is a big challenge. So it's tough on the drivers, but tough on the whole team as well. It's the mechanics are working around the clock. It's difficult, it's tough for them all.
Okay, well, let's see how we condition those athletes as well. Thanks very much, Al. Cheers. Bernie, how do you condition the guys that are driving there? We touched a little bit on concentration. How do you maintain that? How do you get them in physical shape for the big race?
Well, I think the thing is the driver himself have got to realise they've got to move with the car because the car's getting faster. If you look at the new film out recently with Hunt and Niki Lauda and see how their lifestyles were to how it is today. Today, the technology, the reaction time, the response, you are now a race athlete. You're not just a racing driver. You basically have got to work on it. You haven't got to go out there and win an Ironman, but your fitness needs to be at a very high-end level because what you don't see when you watch the car go around in circles, all the internal stresses that's going on with the body, all the organs getting thrown around, the stresses on the neck. These guys got necks like front row in a scrum. So it's not like doing a rocky workout, to be a racing driver. There's very, very subtleties to that, but you need to be up there as a high-end performer. So there's so much involved. We call it global conditioning, and that's what it is. Everything from your endurance, because the race is 2 hours, and it's those little things. And what you got to remember is when they make those small margin of errors, there's a big impact at the end of it. So it's about fully concentration, fully fit, dehydration, heat, weather, rain, all that kind of stuff. So it's about keeping the mind strong. So all it's about all the time is the driver becoming an athlete, and it's like self-discipline, self-test himself all the time on the physical side.
Okay, well, thanks again for chatting to us, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Finally, can we convince you to get into one of these cars one day? Is it the sort of thing you could do to condition yourself as an athlete, or is that a bit out of your league?
It would be a battle for me, yeah. The seats are actually tiny. They're really built around the driver, so they all come in for a seat fitting, and they're actually scanned and moulded to them. So I wouldn't actually be able to get in this one myself, but maybe one day. I'd need to step up my fitness just a bit, but yeah, they're pretty impressive guys.
Okay, well, just remind us once again where you are within the whole complex.
We are just at the entrance, the Matrix Fitness stand.
Come along and see the guys from Matrix. Thanks to the team from Red Bull and Matrix for chatting to us. You can have your say as well on our Twitter wall, L_I_W. Obviously, Leisure Industry Week, that's what that stands for, easy to remember. You can hashtag it as well, LIW 2013. I'll leave you guys to have a look around, see what else is out there. Enjoy your afternoon. Come and have a little chat with us later on as well, and we'll speak to you then. All right, thanks for now. Bye. Cheers, guys.